Hello everyone, I'm your hostess with the mostest, 8-Second Gaming, and in today's video we're going to be breaking down 3 of the best team comps that you and your squad need to be running this split so you can absolutely dominate ranked, grind out that RP, and hit a new peak rank. Everybody knows that team comps are extremely important when it comes to Apex. You need to have those 3 legends that complement you and your team's playstyle so you don't have any weaknesses when running around. But just quickly guys, with the new season comes new rank grinds. And if you're looking to push into Diamond, Masters, or even Predator, then you need to check out the GameLeap website right now. Over there, we have top level coaches who know what it takes to play at those high levels and how to get others to them, all making guides and courses so that you can become the best Apex player you can possibly be and carry yourself to those high ranks. We have legend guides with a brand new Vantage guide coming out very soon. We have gun guides, VOD reviews, and much more. And we also have a sale going on right now, so there's no better time to get a membership. So click the link in the description, use code season14 to get that discount, or I'm gonna have to ask somebody new to go to prom with me. But okay, jumping into these team comps now, we have 3, 1 for each of the different playstyles. So let's start things off with the hybrid playstyle. This is just for the people that have no set playstyle. If they're in the middle of zone, they're gonna chill out, but if they're on the edge of zone, they have no issues looking for a fight. This team comp is going to be Newcastle, Vantage, and Seer. First off, Newcastle is basically the new Gibraltar. They took the best of Lifeline's kit and the best of Gibby's kit and kind of mashed it all into one, made a love child, and it's now Newcastle. His passive revive shield is insanely strong and there's a lot of new techniques coming out with the changes that they just made to it. His tactical is not as good as a Gibby bubble per se, but it's also extremely useful in a lot of different situations and you can use it to siege buildings because it moves. And his ultimate is really good for some of the endings on KC where it pulls to a spot in an open field or somewhere where there might not be as much cover. You can just basically slam it down, give your team a spot to play, and no matter which situation you find yourself and your team in, you always have kind of an answer. Newcastle is like a Swiss Army knife of the support role. That's why I'm slamming him down in the hybrid role, because he always has an answer for any situation you find yourself in. Now next up, the new legend that came in this season is Vantage, and she's actually pretty strong in a lot of different situations. Echo is great at taking space at the beginning of fights and also sometimes during fights if you're not the center of attention. It can be a little slow and people that are really good at tracking can beam you out of the sky with it, but if nobody's looking at you, you do have that time to take a new angle in a fight, and she's really good at that. Now she also gives her team a ton of information with how many people are alive on a squad, so you can tell if it's a rat near you. She also can tell their armor, so you can know going into a fight if you're at an advantage or not. And her ultimate's great at starting fights or even getting some really good poking out. Because with that sniper rifle, Vantage technically has 3 weapons available for her. So you can technically get away with running shotgun SMG on Vantage because you still have long range covered with your ultimate. I've actually been playing Vantage a lot since the season came out and I'm really enjoying my time on her and cannot wait to play her more. And last up on this team comp is Seer. Now Seer is one of the strongest, if not the strongest legend in the meta right now. I was expecting to see him get a few nerfs at the start of the season, but he did not. So he's still really good in a lot of different team comps, and this one is no exception. Doesn't matter where you are because he just constantly has wall hacks. He can scan heartbeats and pair that up with Vantage to see if that person that he scanned is actually a rat or not. He can cancel heals, he can cancel revives. He can do a lot, and it's kind of like Newcastle. It doesn't matter if you're middle of ring or edge of ring, he's still useful no matter what. But that's our hybrid team, but what if your team is a little bit more gung-ho for kills? The rank meta right now is to just W key people. You want to get as many kills as you possibly can because there's no diminishing returns, so what if that is your goal? Well, the team that I recommend for you guys is to run either Seer or Bloodhound, we'll talk about both of them in a second, Horizon, and Mad Maggie. Now Seer or Bloodhound both work in this team comp. You do need some form of a scan character if you're going to be super aggressive because you need to know where teams are during a fight. Now Seer is good for the exact same reasons that I gave during the hybrid team comp, so I'm going to talk about Bloodhound here because I would actually put Bloodhound above Seer in this specific team comp. Bloodhound is a lot more aggressive with their ultimate. You get a huge speed boost. You're actually the second fastest moving character in the game with that boost. So you can take so many different angles, move around and fight, seem like you're coming from multiple different angles, and the scans are almost non-stop because they're on a very low cooldown. Now the ultimate does have a fairly long wait time in between them, so you might want to carry at least one ultimate accelerator and sacrifice something like a grenade, but it's always a good idea to use one because you want to have that ultimate up. Now, I personally am a Bloodhound main, so I do enjoy Bloodhound a lot more in those aggressive fights, but if you're more of an aggressive Seer player, it does work as well. So it's basically kind of who the person mains or which one they're more comfortable on to pick or choose whether or not you use them in this team comp. Both Seer and Bloodhound work equally well. But next up we have Horizon, and Horizon did receive a few nerfs at the start of the season that made her black hole not as effective. It takes friendly fire now, and it's actually a lot easier to destroy for the enemy team when it first activates. But that actually doesn't hurt her as much as people think. It's gone from being an ability that can last throughout an entire fight to just kind of a one and done ability to open up the fight. What you want to do is use it to be that initial fight starter. Whip a ton of arc stars at that center mass, and it doesn't matter if the ultimate breaks because hopefully you're going to get enough damage out on the enemy team to make it worth it. And who knows, you might even get a very fast down, so the fight has gone extremely quickly from a 3v3 to a 3v2. And with the highly aggressive teammates that you coupled on this team comp, you can push in very quickly, finish everyone else off, and the fight is over before any third parties can even hear it. And that's why I really like Mad Maggie on this team comp, because with her ultimate, you can speed boost into it to couple with Horizon. Horizon throws her black hole, Mad Maggie throws her wrecking ball. Not only does it also damage and stun the enemies that are in the black hole, it also puts the speed boost pads down, so Bloodhound, Horizon, and Mad Maggie are on top of the people that are remaining after that ultimate extremely quickly. She's also just very annoying to fight against because if you try to back away behind cover to heal, she can just stop you with her riot drill. And she completely counters Gibraltar now with her ultimate, so if you throw a Horizon black hole at someone and a Gibby tries to bubble it to protect themselves, guess what? You can't anymore because Mad Maggie's wrecking ball will destroy it. This is the type of team comp that just runs over teams left, right, and center, and no, Kings Canyon is a very third-party heavy map. If you can end them fast enough like this team comp can, then the third parties don't matter because you will be done the fight and ready to fight off anybody that comes after. That's just more kills for you. But what if you're not as aggressive as everybody else? What if you're more the type to read the zones, get a good spot, let everybody else kill each other and just take the win? Well, that's going to be a very zone-centric team, and for this you're going to be wanting to pick up Crypto, Caustic, and Valkyrie. Now I will warn you guys, this one is not going to be as viable as it has been in past seasons. With the meta the way that it is, you want to get more kills. And while this is a very strong fighting team comp in endgame circles, if somebody decides to push you before that endgame situation happens, you might have a harder time fighting them off because right now people are just going to be W keying you. But that is why you have the Caustic. The Caustic stalls out pushes extremely well. The only true counter to a Caustic is another Caustic, and if they're just trying to W key to you, I don't think that they are going to have a Caustic on their team. Your goal with this team comp is basically to just find a building or a spot in endgame and fight off people until a third party comes in so that they wipe the team that's trying to kill you, and you can then just stall out that team until another third party comes in, kills them, and the cycle continues until you're able to just chill out. So the Caustic's basically just there to keep people away from you, and the Crypto's there so that you can scan beacons for free. Crypto is one of the strongest characters in the meta right now when used properly, and to properly use him, you want to be in that circle for a while. He can scout out people around you, he can hit beacons with no risk, he can EMP for a ton of free damage to level up Evo shields, and in endgame circles when everybody's just panicking, that EMP is super deadly. It doesn't matter if somebody has a Gibraltar bubble, a Watson pylon, anything like that, the EMP will break it, the Caustic can then throw his ultimate down, throw some barrels down, and everybody just slowly ticks to death. But part of the issue that Crypto and Caustic have is they're not very mobile. They cannot get to endgame spots on their own, and that's why you have the Valkyrie. Valk did receive a lot of nerfs at the beginning of the season, and some people think that she's dead in the water, but that's not true. She's actually still pretty good. The only thing that the nerfs did is make it so that she can't spam her abilities, and you have to think them out a little bit more. But with this, she's not using her VTOL jetpack and she's not spamming out rockets, so that doesn't really matter. The only thing that matters is her ultimate. And while it doesn't go as far anymore, she's still very good at getting teams from point A to point B fairly safely, and that's all you need with this Crypto Caustic team. Because as soon as you identify where the ring is pulling, you Valk ult or jump tower right there, and you wait until the end of the game because that's all you care about. You care about placement points and then getting kills at the end. So that is going to be the 3 team comps that I suggest, but if you guys have a team comp that you're running and finding success with, I would love to hear about it. Drop a comment down below, maybe it'll help somebody with their team comp. But with all this being said, guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video and learned something new, and if you did and you want to stay up to date with the latest and greatest Apex Legends tips, tricks, and news, don't forget to smash that like and subscribe button. Good luck with your Season 14 rank grinds. Thank you guys all for watching. Once again, I'm 8 Second Gaming, and I will see you in the next one.